Good morning, everybody. I'm going to talk you through today's lesson, and you can pause it as you wish as we go through. However, I will talk you through what you need to do on each slide as well. So this is our first slide, and we're just trying to remember what we've been doing over the last few lessons. Let me give you a couple of reminders, or first of all, pause and see if you can remember for yourselves. And also you can start trying to remember sporting activities. So jugar, remember it's jugar al or jugar a la if it's a feminine sport. So jugar al football, juego al football. How many sports can you remember that go with jugar? And then we've got sporting activities that go with either practicar, which is practically a regular verb, practicar, practico la gimnasia, practico el judo, or the verb hacer, which is irregular, hago el judo, hago la gimnasia. How many activities can you think of that go with sports that are not the ones that go with jugar? Also, we were doing the imperfect tense. Remember, think about the imperfect tense. Just pause it now, see if you can remind yourselves. We had two sets of endings, which you should have learned for homework. The AR endings, aba, abas, aba, abamos, abais, aban, and the ER/IR endings, ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian. And when did we use the imperfect tense? Three situations. Used to, a repeated action in the past, or a past description. Okay, so you're doing a little bit of reminding. Moving on to the next slide now. You might be listening out a little bit for the imperfect tense in today's lesson, but we're also looking at extending your range of activities and sporting activities. So we will be listening out for time markers that talk about the past, such as when I was little, cuando era pequeño, or in the past, en el pasado. So this link you won't be able to read because this is a film. So you won't be able to click on the link. It's not a PowerPoint, but you'll find the same link in ePraise, and you can then click on this and just simply watch the video. Listen to this, watch this video about extreme sports. You can see the los 10 deportes más extremos del mundo. So extreme sports online. Which extreme sports do you think will come up? Have a little think before you watch the video. It's just a short 5-minute video in Spanish, and you can listen to people and watch people taking part in extreme sports. Moving on. So here we've got categories of different sports, different extreme sports. Now you can look these up for yourself, but you should be able to work out most of them. I'll give you a clue. The first one is paracaidismo, which is parachuting. Okay, parachuting. It literally means para-falling. And on the left, we've got no me gustaría probar. I would like to try. I would not like to try. So probar means to try. Me gustaría, I would like. And no me gustaría, I wouldn't like. So you're going to decide two lists, which one would you like to try and which one wouldn't you like to try. So if you like to try parachuting, it will be me gustaría probar el paracaidismo. If you wouldn't, then put a no in front of it. No me gustaría probar el paracaidismo. I'll say the other words out loud so you can hear them. El remo, rowing. El piragüismo, canoeing. La escalada, el free solo. Now that's climbing without ropes. El salto base, base jumping. El buceo, diving. And I'll let you look up the rest. I'll just say them out loud for you. Batir un récord. El alpinismo. El heliski. El tow surf. el rafting, el motocross. So if you've been watching the video, you should see some of those activities on there as well. And write your list, whether it's me gustaría probar or no me gustaría probar. Moving on. I'm now putting those ideas into sentences. So have a look at these 10 sentence starters and write them out and finish the sentences off with what goes with it. So number 1, for example, gasto mi dinero en, I spend my money on. So what do you spend your money on? It could be chocolate. En mi tiempo libre suelo, in my free time, I tend to, remember that goes with an infinitive, jugar al fútbol, hacer el paracaidismo, salir de compras. En cuanto a la música, me gusta la música pop. As for music, tell me what type of music you like. Suelo jugar al, plus a sport. And then number 5, notice that we've changed tense. Imperfect tense. Antes jugaba al. What did you used to play? Todavía is a new word. It means still. I still play. So something that you used to play, but now you still play. Todavía. And ya, definitely a high level word that. It means ya no means no longer. No longer play. Something that you used to play, but now you don't. Ya no juego. Number 8, what you'd like to try. We've seen that in the last slide. Fill that one out. Me gustaría probar. And then again, before, antes. I used to be a fan of. It could be a sport. It could be a team. Antes era aficionado de Bolton. Now I am. Ahora soy aficionado de. So antes, before, ahora, now. These are all time markers. Okay, time markers. Antes, ahora. So what you're aiming to do with this slide is write out the sentences and finish them off with something that makes sense. Pause, but right now I'm going to move on. And now what you can do is put those sentences together to form a long paragraph. So what you'd be achieving, what you'd be achieving now is you would be able to create a long paragraph with very good reasons and opinions. That would take you from somewhere around a grade 5 or 6 right up to a grade 7, 8 or 9. Let's just check we know what these connectives mean. Y, and. Pero, but. Porque, because. Por eso, for this reason. Sin embargo, however. You might not remember the last 3. Aunque, although. Dado que and ya que mean given that or since. Given that I like sport, I play it every day. What you're aiming to do is take the sentences from the last slide, use the connectives and put them all together in one large paragraph. Moving on. This is the last slide. So recently we visited the present tense. We've learned suelo, which means I tend to, plus the infinitive, I usually, what you usually do. We've looked at stem changing verbs, so verbs that change at the beginning, like prefiero, prefieres, prefiere, preferimos, preferís, prefieren. They're in the present tense as well. We've revised the past preterite, that I did do, and the imperfect, I used to do. What I'd like you to do with this slide then is make notes, almost like a mind map, about all of these grammatical points that you've learned. So jot them all down, look back at them, revise them, and try and put them into some scheme, some sort of imagery that makes sense to you. So it could be any form that you wish. So a mind map, a paragraph, a drawing. You could do a voice note and send that to me. Once you've done the work, I'd like either a photo sent to me, you can email me or send me an e-praise note, or write all your work down, save it, and bring it into school next lesson. But I would really like to see all of your work from today. Any questions that you've got whilst you're completing your work, then do send me a message on ePraise and I will answer you as soon as possible. All right, looking forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.